Now let's look at how we can make student groups and what tools are available in the student group widget. So we're going to start with a high school example. I click open up my widgets and my student groups that are available to me. And I can see different student groups that I might have available to me and that I've made these student groups previously. So let's make a new one. So we go to Filter and Create tab. And I will go and say, well, let's start with a group. And so we're going to start with enrollments. And first, we're going to want to choose a school, in the case for me. And let's choose Benton High School. So at Benton High School, it tells me there are 0 students. Well, let's try another high school then. Let's try Adams High School. Let's see if there's an students at Adams High School. Oh, 586. Great. So now let's choose 9th graders. Oh, no 9th graders. Let's choose 10th graders. Oh, 7. Let's try 11th graders. 290. We're going to use 11th graders. But as you can see, you could use any grade level. Now, I've found my 290 11th graders at Adams High School. The next thing I want to do is be able to now find the students that are credit deficient, who are finishing up their 11th grade year. So if I go to risks, I then can choose, these are from the dropout prevention risk factors and the predetermined risk levels for our district. And so I want to find out, of these 283 11th graders, how many and who are credit deficient. So when I click here, I can choose any of these risk indicators and trying to try to determine which ones are at risk in different particular areas. So for the case of this example, we really want credit earned students. And we want to find the students that are at risk. So 275 of them are at risk. That's a little high. And again, this is just an example, but you'll be able to have yours show exactly what your school is, since these are made up kids and made up situations. So I have now my credit deficient students that are in 11th grade at Adams High School. So now I will save this as a SMART group. And once I've saved this as a SMART group, I will call it Adams Credit Deficient. And then I'll save it. So now I have my Adams Credit Deficient 11th graders, and I'm off and running and I can analyze it. If I want to see who they are, I can pop up this little tab and it will show me all the students that are credit deficient. Now, I've made my group, but I want my counselor to know about who is credit deficient. So I've decided that I'm going to share this group with my counselor and say, hey, I'd like you to look at these students and I want a plan for getting them on track for graduation. So let's share that with them. So here's all those students. I can see the list of them. And then let's go to Actions, and I'm going to copy this group to another user. And I could say copy this group to school administrators at Adams High School. And now every administrator, and I think in our case that's counselors and administrators, would be copied this group. And as you can see, they've been given it. You can also copy it to a particular user. So let's see if there's any John Adams. So even though they're not at it, I could click this and then copy it. So if I wanted to copy it directly to a counselor, I could find them and say, here's your group. And so now they have it. So let's look at one other example of how you might be able to do this. I am going to go back to my student groups. And in this one, I am going to delete this group because I really didn't need it. And I'm going to try a different type of a group. And this time, I'm going to go back to that same Adams High School 11th graders. And what I'm going to look at instead of that, I'm going to want to EOC Math 1 or 2 at risk. And this tells me 37 kids in that 11th grade class have not passed EOC Math 1 or 2. And so they're at risk. And so there I could do the same thing of sharing that with either my counselor to make sure these students are enrolled in a collection of evidence class, and I could share it with the math department and say, hey, make sure, are they the administrator in charge of mathematics. But this is a way that we can look at this group and ensure that we got everybody on track and making sure students are enrolled in the correct